Let's just start from the beginning. How'd you get here?
Well, I know this area is a pretty good area for sports, specifically arena football.
Yeah.
With the Greyhounds is more specific as
Right.
far as longevity is concerned, I guess you can call it. The Rough Riders were here in 19, and then COVID happened, and they were gearing up for a good season for 2020. They were going to be in our league that I was in at the time, the National Arena League, which would have been good for them, for a good step up for them. And then, of course, COVID came and kind of messed up everything for everybody.
Ain't that the truth, man? So, where are you from originally? You from here, or you
So no, so I was actually born in the state of Washington, and then moved and was raised in California.
Oh, wow.
And then I went into the Marine Corps. That's what brought me to the East Coast. I got out of the Marines in '05.
Okay.
I met my wife while we were in, and she's from North Carolina, Mount Airy.
Okay.
And so when I got out, we stayed. We married for 20 years this past Monday.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
So, what can you tell us about the Wheeling Miners?
So Willie Miners is really a focus on the community and the fan base. That's what's really going to drive us and be successful and be here for a long time. So we've been pretty strong with partnerships and getting our ticket sales going pretty good. So we had a talk with the arena, and we actually came to an agreement with extending for 2 more years.
Nice.
So we got a 3-year agreement with them, including this season. So I felt that was pretty strong out the gate. Not many teams do that, and with what we've been doing in the community so far, they felt that was a pretty good move for us as well. So it was pretty easy transition to that.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about, we've been on a number of sports things, but my first and foremost love is football. Played it, coached it, officiated it, and just I'm ready for some arena ball. Just see somebody get knocked between the boards. It's just fun to watch, man.
Yeah. So what is it like? Like you said, coaching this arena ball. Like, does it schemes different from high school, college, or NFL? Or are you able to keep the same philosophy for?
For the most part, it's still run, tackle, catch, block, football. So, but we got a guy in motion, which is a little bit different. Think of it as like your CFL, Canadian Football League style. It's just 8-on-8. You got guys running in motion and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Going into my 17th season at this level, coaching arena football, I also coach high school football. So, but I'm an air raid guy, spread outside. So that's still my speed of slinging the ball around. So that's what I love about the arena football game. With the high scoring and stuff like that. So it's not much scheme difference. It's obviously your verbiage on certain things is a little bit different.
Right.
And things happen much faster. So you just got to be able to kind of condense things down, so to speak, with the 8-on-8. It's not 11-on-11. So
I got you.
yeah.
No, did you play arena ball, or did you just get into the coaching?
So I did play arena football. I played 2 years when I got out the Marines in '06 and '07. I played quarterback. I played all through high school. Obviously, I went to the Marine Corps, so I didn't play in college. But I played 3 out of the 5 years I was in the Marines. We had a team. It's pretty cool there. You got different units, and you're playing units, and it's a lot of athletes in the military. So it's pretty fun competition, and get a little wild sometimes too. So the 2 years I didn't play, I was in Iraq. So we weren't playing football there in Sunnyside Beach, Iraq. So
yeah, well, I mean, sometimes when you get a little MWR, I've been deployed with Army and Marines, and sometimes you get a pigskin, and it can get a little heated, especially cross service. So it's
absolutely,
like you said, a bunch of athletes, and just nobody in the military wants to lose. So it can get 2-hand touch can get full on tackle football. So
well, one of the coolest things from playing in the military versus your traditional, you come off the field, you get your break, you're getting your water bottle, you're sipping some water before you go back out. The military is taking a smoke break. They run off to the field, and you got guys lighting up a cigarette before they go back to the field, and that was pretty awesome. That's pretty funny to see.
So you said that you had coached another team. Where was you coached before?
Shoot, I've been in all the alphabets really that you can think of. So locally, I coached Harrisburg Stampede in 2011. Before then, I was in West Virginia with a team called the Huntington Hammer out of Huntington, West Virginia. Most recently, I was with the Carolina Cobras the last 4 seasons as the GM head coach there. So I took last year off, so it's been a long off season for me.
I bet. So, your first game is the 13th.
Yeah,
it looks
this Saturday. Yep.
Steel City Stampede. Now, who is that and where are they from?
I don't know. Okay. So I don't know much about them. I don't know much about all these teams in the league. It's a little bit different for where I've been. But some of the people that run them have been around the game for a long time.
Okay.
You got AJ, who's with the Jersey Bearcats. He's been in this game for a long time, and he's been all over the place a little bit. Had a lot of success with the Bearcats. They won the league last year.
Okay.
Steel City, who we play Saturday, and I mentioned the Bearcats. They're our first home game next week. But
Okay.
The Stampede, they were runner-ups. They pretty much, I think they went 8-1 last year, and their loss came to the Bearcats in the championship game.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
No, what I heard there was I think he wants you and I to start scouting. So we'll just,
right.
just give us some merch and we'll start
Yeah,
scouting
Silk
for
said
you.
he
So-
was there on involved with the flag football circuit stuff, so he's seen some good players out there.
Oh, I'm sure. It's the same thing like the flag football. Even now, you see some just amazing athletes out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If I was only,
Yeah.
30 years younger.
The crazy thing is that when they had the Olympic games that they had or whatever going on, the USA games now for flag, there's guys out there doing moves like the dip moves on the go and that you see it blown up online. Everyone's like, "Oh man, he did that, blah blah blah." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been seeing that for 10 years. Like dudes in our league do unreal things with,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, but then the biggest thing is what I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you know this, from your position or if it's a GM question. A lot of guys are really reserved when trying to come out for things like this because they're not sure what the pay would be like or insurance or whatever. A lot of guys that work for a living, they don't feel like they have the luxury to come play.
For sure.
What does that look like in reality?
So I'm the general manager and head coach
Oh, there
of
you
the
go.
team.
Great
so,
question for you.
Absolutely. I wear all the hats, so it's busy.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to say, but that's the biggest thing that comes up because there's so many teams across the country that don't do it the right way, and you always got to ask the question too: of where's the owners at?
Right.
What league are you in? The pay questions. Do you get paid? Is there workman's comp? No, there isn't necessarily insurance. We don't provide insurance for the players, but we provide workman's comp. We provide workman's comp because we have to provide workman's comp because if you're getting paid, they're considered, even though an independent contractor don't necessarily have to have it.
Right.
That's just a liability thing for us to make sure that everybody's covered.
Right.
Because usually that's where some of your injuries come. A torn ACL injury is not cheap, so someone's got to take care of it, and it always falls to the team's responsibility to take care of that stuff. And not all the teams do that. Even in our league now, the one league we're in, not all the players get paid in our league, except for our team. We're the only team that all of our players get paid.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to ask someone to play for free. That's kind of stupid.
Right.
That defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. Now the league we're in is kind of more developmental, I guess you could say, for the league that it's in. So what we're building now is to be prepared where we're going to. I've been in the NAL and IFL, AFL stuff for my whole career, so that level of football is different than what we're in right now. So if anyone's familiar with the Rough Riders, it's a lot like that level. So it's hard to get the good guys to come to understand what we have. So we have to provide a lot of different things. So we provide all of our housing, so I could house 40 guys if I wanted to. It's kind of separates us just from that aspect of being able to bring guys in from all over, not just locally.
Right.
But my emphasis was locally because I want, from a marketing standpoint, people to know who they're coming to watch.
Right.
So that helps. But you don't want a bunch of guys that everyone knows and you don't win games. That doesn't, at that point, it don't matter because no matter where you go, the fans are going to get to know the guys. They're going to have their fan favorites. Every year is going to change. It's 1-year contract. So there's a revolving door sometimes. We'll have a roster this year, and we might have half of new players next year just because guys are moving on, guys are retiring. One of the guys that's played for me that played with the Rough Riders, a WVU guy, Larry Ford, defensive end for WVU. He's played for me for 4 seasons. He's towards his tail end now of how many years does he have left. That's only for him to decide,
Right.
until he feels he can't do it no more. But I flew him in for all of our games. He's an administrator for Executive High School in the Allentown, Bethlehem, PA area. But he's a sack master, I guess you could call him. So guys in camp are, where's Larry Ford at? Why ain't he at practice? He said you'll see him. You'll see him on game day, right? And so when a guy can come in, fly in, get 3 sacks, go home, go to work the next day, and you're here every day and you're barely producing,
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
Right.
That's why he's coming. So until he gets tired of playing the game and whatnot, guys played his game until their late 30s. You'd be shocked. I got a 54-year-old linebacker we signed for the season. He's hopefully can be a Guinness Book World Record holder of hitting 100 plays as the oldest professional football player to play. So
That's pretty cool.
he's got a documentary follow him, and so we'll be in a movie, I guess you could call it. So that's kind of interesting, know. So why wouldn't we want to try to be a part of that? You know what I mean? So arena football itself is a show. You make it all these cool things going on in the atmosphere and with the fans, and then a football game happens in between all that stuff.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to portray here. If you're familiar with the arena game, that's what it is the show, and you want the fan engagement on the field doing stuff, and it'll be a good time.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Wicked Waxing and Skincare. Wicked Waxing and Skincare is a body hair removal and skincare service based out of Martins Ferry, Ohio. Check them out. You can go on their Facebook at facebook.com/wickedwaxingskincare to see their full menu and prices, and you can check them out at wicked.glossgenius.com. We are also brought to you by River Valley Power Washing. River Valley Power Washing is a pressure washing and soft washing service for businesses and residential, and they are the experts of keeping your property clean and staying clean. Check them out at rivervalleywash.com or call them at 412-977-4108. As a special offer to our listeners, if you use the code TST, you get 15% off your first project with them. Check them out at River Valley Power Washing.
Yeah, like I said, there was a league in Steubenville. It was years ago, but it was that same thing. Like you might get paid on game day, and you had no insurance or whatever. But if you got hurt during a game, then it would be a workman's issue if you were getting paid. It was, and it was just one of those things. It was like, I love the game, but I can't. There's no way I could. You know what I mean? You'd make a cut wrong and you blow an Achilles or an ACL, and you're done. And you're just kind of like, yeah, thanks for playing. So that, I mean, like I said, there's a fact that where you love to play the game, but then there's that part where you're like, I gotta still pay my bills. So it's a fine line, and I respect the hell out of those guys that go out there and play it. I mean, even like you guys playing flag. I mean, it's just any little thing, but I mean, most of you guys are working. You got healthcare, you got stuff like that. But some of these guys, it's not like, I think a lot of people think like minor league baseball. Those kids are getting, it's a whole system. They're getting paid. They're, like you said, they're getting housing. They're doing all that, and that's fantastic that you're able to house these guys here. So,
and so to touch base more on that too, like we have tryouts, right? So every team has tryouts, but then it comes down to some of them are cash grabs because they're just trying to get as many people come to the tryout as possible. So we only had 2 tryouts, and the first one we had a pretty decent turnout. I invited 13 back from the first one to come back to the second one. So for us, I'm not focusing on the money part of it. I want to see, you have local trials to see who's going to come out because I'm recruiting all over the country. We might find someone at a tryout that's local that wouldn't have came anywhere else, or I wouldn't have found anywhere else because I'm not looking for them.
Right.
And it's only $50, to try out. So if you're not willing to invest $50 in yourself, then why would I invest thousands into you? That doesn't really make sense, right? So I've even done in the past where if you made the team, you got your tryout fee back. I've done different things like that just to get the draw because there is a negative on our sport of what we do with the indoor arena game. Teams pop up all the time, come and go. They're here a year, you don't even know who they are the next year. So, or you see them pop up 2 years later in another year at another city. So that happens all the time. So we try to create a situation to where people want to come here. When you can provide that, then that's when you're really going to take off. So we got like Thrive. Are you guys familiar with Thrive? Downtown Wheeling. Cryotherapy, red light therapies, infrared sauna. Like that's one of our partners. So our players can go there, get massages, cryo. Washington Spine Disc and Joint Center out of Washington, PA is our team chiropractor. Wheeling Hospitals, our medical team. So we actually got like a lot of stuff involved.
That's awesome.
And our meals are provided for our house guys. So right now we got like 8 restaurants where guys can go eat at, and we have a couple more that we're adding.
I got them right there on the TV. The restaurant set.
Yeah, so I mean,
Oh,
you can
wow,
look.
yeah.
So if you look at our partner page, I mean, we've been busy. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's those are the things you got to do to get involved, and that helps spread the word, because if, for instance, Panhandle's over everything, you see Panhandle on all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Especially right now with the flooding.
Right.
Exactly. But the biggest thing is when they're your partners, they're going to talk about it. They're going to
That's
talk
it.
about the team, and they're going to talk. So that's just spreading the word, marketing right there. So we're, I'm excited about that, and a lot of different things. So we got a lot of different things cooking. And game days are going to be pretty awesome. So I can't wait till next week.
I want to go back to the 54-year-old linebacker. It gives me hope.
Yeah. So
Do you need a punter?
there you go. So RC Everbeck is his name. He's an actual movie star, filmmaker guy. So he's involved in Hollywood. So,
Oh, nice.
He was in Pretty Woman.
Okay.
Pretty Woman. Quite a few other. You remember the Milk Does a Body Good milk commercial? Like he was in that commercial.
Oh, jeez.
So he's been around, done a lot of different things. He's a decathlete. Graduated with film school stuff at USC. Went to Arizona State, Washington State. Has been around doing that, and then he circled back around and played at Santa Monica College. Originally, they asked him, his buddy was there, and asked him to come be the pole vaulting coach for track because they didn't have one. When he was there, they were talking about the football, and he found that you can still play football because you have 2 years that you can play college football in California and JUCO, basically. And you can play that as long as you didn't play that sport in college or professionally. So he was a decathlete, track guy, so obviously he didn't play football, so then he was able to play football. The first year was he didn't know how it was going to be, and he ended up playing himself into a starter and being a captain, which was pretty cool. So he was actually the oldest college football player at the time. So transitioning that to now, it's kind of the same concept, but just now it's professionally. He went to high school with one of our owners, so that's where that kind of lead in came.
Okay.
I didn't recruit him from Santa Monica College, so that wasn't at the top of my list of looking for a 54-year-old linebacker. So, but it's little things like that you try to add to the ambience of the arena game. That's people want to see that stuff. They hear about that.
Yeah.
The movie goes through, whether it ends up being a series or a movie. The people that were in it, some of our partners will be filmed in it.
Right.
So why would you not watch it?
Right,
If
exactly.
if you're Generations, the restaurant, and if you work there, why wouldn't you want to watch that movie to see if you can see yourself in the background?
Absolutely.
Something like
Right.
that. So
Absolutely.
a lot of different things. So it's been a cool experience so far up to this point.
So you said that the arena gave you a 3-year deal. Somebody comes to a game. What do you know that they? Other than the great football, what is the miners in the arena kind of gotten together that they're going to do for home games? Anything?
So the arena is pretty much just our, we're the tenant, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So we're renting this facility from them for game days.
Okay.
They have a great operations staff. They're the ones that set up our field and break the field down, just like they do for all the other events. But other than that, we're the ones that pretty much handle it all.
Okay.
So I got a pretty good media team. They'll handle all of our games will be streamed on YouTube. JB Media handles that. So basically they do a lot of stuff for the Nailers, and they do all their visuals with the ribbon boards and the Jumbotron and all that stuff. And then their sound people, they'll handle that stuff in their operations booth and whatnot. So I wouldn't say that they're not a part of what we do on game day, but
you guys
they're
are
more
in the
supporting
driver's seat.
staff.
Yeah,
But we're
you
the
guys
ones
run
running from our game day director of operations. We'll have a field MC. We'll have our in-house PA. We'll have an in-house DJ for the arena and whatnot. Then we have our broadcast team for the YouTube stuff. So we'll have games going on the field, during the breaks with getting fans involved, kids, adults, everything. We'll have something for everybody to get involved with that. We'll have prizes for the winners of those little things. Now they're quick, obviously, during a timeout or immediate timeout,
Right.
but we're rolling them in, rolling them out. So we got a lot of interns that we'll have involved from Wheeling U and West Lib and Bethany College and stuff like that. So we utilize a lot of the local universities for that.
That's excellent.
Do you guys have like a team expectation this year? Like, I want to win X amount of games, or we want to get to the playoffs, or we want to win the championship. Is that spoken about already? Is that something that kind of
Oh yeah, so I mean,
sticks
it's
in?
it's more of the cliches. Everyone, to win a championship,
Right.
that's everyone's goal to get a ring. But I mean, to win a championship is really this is what we do. I mean, we play the game to win.
Right.
So I have a different mindset on it just because I run the business side too. So
Mhm.
I don't care if we're packed and we lose by 1 point. Fans had a great time. They left. We win.
Right.
We won.
Right.
Because you're coming back.
Right.
If you've never seen a game and you see a game, you're coming back. You're not missing one if you know that you got the availability and you're not on vacation or something.
Right.
You're coming. You're not missing it. Even fans that aren't even football fans love the arena game because of the entertainment side and everything that's going, involved with that. So for me taking off last year, it's been a long break for me. But before that, 3 out of the 4 seasons I was in a championship game with the teams I was with. So I like to think that I want to win every time.
Right. Right.
So I didn't win all those championships. I won one, but you're there. That's what you're playing for. You're playing to win those. But I don't see us not being in the championship game this year. I just don't. That's not in the cards for us.
What do you see in this team that you may not have seen in other teams? What excites you about this team?
I think what's excited me personally as a coach, it's helped me look at guys differently. Because being in the leagues I was in, I recruited different guys. Guys made the last league I was in, the NAL. We didn't have a salary cap, so you could pay a quarterback $2,000 a game. You could pay defensive, offensive line $600 a game. Whatever you came with, you can sign them. Obviously we're not doing it for $1 million. You still got an operating budget. You still got owners that are the ones writing a check, so you got to get everything approved through them. But it's helped me look at guys a little bit different as far as giving guys an opportunity locally, because maybe we say we want to give everyone an opportunity, but you got a guy from Ohio State versus a guy from Santa Monica College. You're picking the Ohio State guy.
Right.
It's the type of athlete, that D1 athlete. But in all actuality, if you would have gave him a shot, the Santa Monica dude might have been a baller because the Ohio State guy was a third stringer, but you just thought in your mind, but the other dude was the player.
Right.
So we always don't make it the right decision as a coach. So it's helped me kind of look at things a little bit different, just from where we're at. I know there's athletes here in this area that are from here that are playing across the country in other teams. I've got a couple of them that come back. That Isaiah Robinson played at West Liberty. He was at a team in the NAL in Kansas, and I'm like, dude, we're 30 minutes from you. you're gonna be here in a situation where I can give you some exposure, make you part of the marketings, per se. They're not doing that for you in Kansas.
Right.
They don't know who you are, right? So play at home where people know who you are, and then you got family. It's different too when you can play in front of family and friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially your friends are going to rub you, make you, give you a hard time sometimes. That's fun, but also they're going to be there to support you too. So
Exactly.
it's a whole different aspect. And we got some guys from Wheeling U, West Lib, Waynesburg. I got a WVU guy, got a guy from Marshall, got a couple guys from Pennsylvania schools. So we kept it in the mix, for the most part. And of course, we got some guys across the country. Our O-line are from all over the place, because I feel like if you got to have a good O-line and D-line before anything else.
Absolutely.
And then a solid quarterback. And in this game, I can fall out of bed and find a receiver or DB. The skill guys are all over the country. There's thousands of them. So we did a good job of building the trenches for us, and that's protect ours, get after theirs. Is
That's
pretty
it.
much what it comes down to.
I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
So season tickets still up for grabs? I'm checking out the.
Yeah, so season tickets are up for grabs. We did a pretty good job so far with that. I'm excited to see how that it's a walk-up town, so
Yeah.
it should be a pretty good draw. But season tickets start at $55. That's for 5 games. That's pretty great for that. I believe in the 300. There's no bad seat in Wesbanco. You're right on top of everything. Then the section 200 is like your middle section of the bowl. Is $90 for 5 games, and then the 170 section 100 is like your first few rows from the wall, which I don't really like sitting in front of the wall. You get to catch the player, that comes over the wall. But usually the 200s is our biggest seller right now, just because that's you're right in the center, good visual of everything. But section 100 is the cool one where you can talk trash to the referees and the away team. And
Yeah.
I got to be a fan. I went back and saw one of my former teams, the Cobras, and I was a fan. And then, of course, all the fans were like, "You should be back out there coaching." And I'm like, "No." So, and I had a couple cold ones too, but I was giving it. Nobody was safe, even some of the Cobra players I knew. So 170 for Section 100 is still not bad for 5 games.
No, not
it's,
at all.
Pretty good deal. So we do have our single game tickets are obviously on sale now, but I set the pricing to make you. Why would you not buy season tickets? Right. So like you buy the $55 ticket for 5 games, comes $11. You're gonna pay $18 on game day, which it's only $7, but you're saving $7 per game.
Right.
Because we got people who said, "Oh, we're just gonna pay every game." Okay, well you're gonna save money by not paying the extra $7 per game. So you're gonna save $35.
Right.
Now you can go use that and buy a T-shirt at merchandise. So,
Well, the other thing is too is you're going to have people that aren't familiar with arena ball that
for sure.
they're going to come to a couple games this year and then be
Yep.
like, "Oh, I'm definitely getting season tickets next year," and then you're going to see it jump up.
Yeah, so we'll run the season ticket price through the second game. So once we get by this first game, someone's going to be there that didn't understand what it was, or is this real, or is this even fun to go to? We're going to keep the same structured price, but just prorated for the 4 games, obviously. So then it'd be $44 for the next 4 home games. So
Excellent.
We're just to keep that opportunity because someone's going to want to come to the rest for the games. It's going to happen. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with everything going on in Wheeling and all the places that are
Yeah.
opening up around there. I mean, it's hard not to go down to the arena, go get something to eat at like the waterfront or any place downtown that's open up and just see the game, and it's going to be big. I'm super happy that you guys are here and it's going to happen.
And we'll do some specials, each game. We got different events or different theme nights for our games. Our next Friday would be our education appreciation night. So teachers, students, staff, stuff like that. Star Wars night is our second game, so we'll do some stuff for each game. We'll have some specials, but like the first game next Friday, we're putting out, I think it's coming out today, but a ticket special for students, teachers, staff from universities, high schools, middle schools. Doesn't matter. Education related, you show your ID, ticket starts at $10.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, it's a great opportunity for that as well.
That's awesome.
What about this situation keeps you rolling out of bed every morning, excited to go to work and get after it?
Well, one, I'm my own boss.
That always helps.
That's a key there. It's football. You're always told as you're coming up and you're working and you're doing your stuff that, find what you love to do and find a way to get paid to do it.
Right.
And I've been fortunate through the years that this is all I do. So I coach arena football, then I'll go home and coach high school, and then I'll come back to arena football, and I've been doing that year round. And I've had some odd and end jobs in the early part of the years, coming up with stuff because you want to do everything you can to keep doing what you want to do, and that's pretty much that. I love it. That's my life. It's helped me. It's saved my life. Other than the Marine Corps, football, sports has been, a big deal for me in my life, and many athletes. People rely on that stuff. So I actually started my days this week. I started getting up at 3:30 every morning just to give me some extra hours in the day.
Right.
So there's not enough time to get stuff done. So as we're getting closer to the games and we're adding more people and we're getting more help with some stuff, I'm looking forward to start handing some stuff off to people and kind of focus on the games on that. Because at 12 o'clock on game day, I ain't doing no business. That stuff, that's everything will be running on its own. People in place do what they got to do, and I'm football oriented at that point.
You're in the locker room. You're ready to go.
Yeah,
That's it.
don't mug me. If I get a call on game day or something, I know someone's running around on fire.
And how much has your experience in the Marine Corps shaped your coaching or the way that you handle your players, or even the way you go about your day when you get home?
Huge. I mean, the Marine Corps is what I am today. It feels like I was in the Marines yesterday. Now being in combat twice helps with that too. But so just the structure, the discipline, the self motivation. I'm very motivated in everything that I do. I want to be the best at everything I do. That's why I wanted to go in the Marine Corps. I felt they had the best uniform in the world. So why would you not want that? You know what I
Hands
mean?
down.
So,
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I did 21 years in the Air Force, and still, I don't even blink an eye and say the Marines they have the best dress blues on the planet.
Yeah.
So it's
and it's just to keep that whole aspect. And I don't take crap from people. It's one of those, like, you don't wake the sleeping giant, I guess you can say. Like, you don't, like, I'm very calm, but I can get pissed off too. That's the Marine. That's the Marine to me on that side. So, and the players respect that, and I'm honest to them, and I'm upfront to them. I tell them even stuff that they don't want to hear.
Right.
You know, you're not going to play in the NFL, dude, but I'm not going to tell you that you're never going to make it.
Right.
That's not my place. That's God's place to tell you what you're able to do and,
Right.
and guide you for that aspect. I can tell you what skills you lack and what you need to improve on to have that opportunity, but
Right.
they're where they're supposed to be. If they I'm not a yeller at practice. If I yell at you, is because they know, crap, Coach Rez is on us now. We got to, let's lock in type thing. But there's coaches that yell all the time. And so now if you're really pissed and you've been yelling all the time and then you yell at them, they're like, Coach Rez on his shit again. Excuse me. But Coach Rez on his thing again. Here he goes. So I try to kind of set that precedent. I don't hang out with the players. That's a big thing for keeping the players in line. We'll have some meet and greets and stuff, and I'll hang out with them right after the game or post game party. But then I'm out. Like, I don't get involved with that. It's just, you got to have that line drawn, and
Absolutely.
it's hard to cut you if we're friends.
Right.
So I got to keep that. It's not because I'm an a-hole, I guess you could say. I want to keep that precedent so they know where the line's drawn and whatnot.
Gotcha.
right. And it's a business.
It is.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, and it's nothing personal. And I know and like I said, I've only coached high school, but still, like you said, you want to keep that. You don't want to be somebody's buddy,
Right.
because then when you really do have to jump in their ass,
Right.
they're, oh, he's being mean to me. No, I'm being honest with you, like
Yeah.
you said. So it's that's a good thing, like you said, to have your boundaries and they know their place, you know your place, and then you mesh together and you make it work. So
And you mentioned the business part, so that's my focus. That's why I learned everything that I could do. One, to make me more valuable, and then you can get paid more, the more that you can do. But it has to, these teams at this level, minor league sports has to be ran like a business. You have to run it as you're trying to make money, not as you're dumping money, but as you're trying to make money.
Right.
And that's where a lot of the teams that falter, like you mentioned some of your friends and players and flag guys that are like, yeah, I don't know about that stuff.
Right.
Because there's teams out there that don't do it the right way. So I don't care about the football aspect. I can do that in my sleep. I can call plays with my eyes closed. I can teach you what to do in all positions. That isn't what I'm here for. I'm here to build the aspect of the community and run a business. When our owners know from the get-go, I don't want you to ask me questions about football. Don't ask me who we're signing. Don't ask me this or that about football or what. Ask me, who did we bring on for partners today? How much money did we bring in today? What does our pipeline look like for coming up? Those are the questions as a business owner you should be asking me. Don't ask me about the football stuff.
Right.
If you're worried about who's running the chain gang, what ball boys we have, like you need to focus on something else, because you're not going to take it serious when I tell you that we need to write this $5,000 check because it's going to make us $20,000.
right.
Don't question that. Spend money to make the money. If we can't spend $5,000 to make $20,000, then you should probably sell your shares and move on. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here to make you money, so I don't want to tell you what color our jerseys are. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, but it happens. And so when you set that precedent, it just takes it in a whole different direction. That's how teams are around for 20 years. Columbus Lions, Jacksonville Sharks, Arizona Rattlers. You can just keep naming names. Omaha Beef has been in 20 plus years. That they make almost $1 million a year.
Right.
So, but they run it as a business. That's the difference between this team that's been here for a year. Yeah, they might have cool stuff in the beginning and have the best players and the best looking uniforms, but they have 500 people in the stands.
Yeah.
That's not making money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the focus we've been on, and it's been very supportive. I'm excited about this fan base. It's the blue collar mentality, workers. They're going to support us if we're winning, but also what we do on the off the field stuff, I think, is going to be just as cool and as important.
Absolutely. And I think, and I said this earlier, was especially with Wheeling, it's almost kind of like you got the golden ticket. I mean, you got a city that's like rebuilding and they're coming up and you're getting in right now. And it's just, I think it's going to take off between sports and music and the entertainment stuff that's happening. I think you guys are hitting it right at the peak point. It's just,
Oh, that's
you're
why-
going to be able to print money.
Yeah, that's why I told our owners. I said the next 2 to 3 years downtown is going to be booming. Yeah, everyone could be mad about the construction and everything on the roads now. I'm not from here, so obviously I didn't really know what it was like before. But I'm used to construction all over the place. Being in Greensboro, Raleigh, Charlotte, there's construction going on all the time. That's normal for me. But my thing is like, if they don't do anything, it's gonna die.
Exactly.
So you want it fixed or you want it to die? To fix it, you got to fix it. Like you actually got to do something to
You got
fix
to spend
it.
money
So-
to make money.
Exactly.
That's it.
So back to the business. That business model is the same in all businesses.
Right.
It's just what the vehicle is. Like what is our product type thing. So I think everyone will be excited when they see everything when it's done. Just everything that's coming and everything, all the different buildings, hotel coming downtown, different things like that. So, and then the entertainment, Kelly Tucker at the arena has done a phenomenal job of bringing in stuff. They're always been busy. They're busy. So I don't know what it was before. Obviously they still had concerts and all that stuff, but
Yeah, not as
Yeah,
busy. It's
so-
starting to pick. Like I said, you guys are hitting at the right time where now they're
Yeah,
starting to pick up.
yeah.
They're starting to have more
Yeah.
concerts and stuff. It's really blowing up. I'm excited. So especially because it's close to home.
For a question that we kind of ask most of our guests to put a ribbon on this episode, having operated in the Wheeling area for a while now, what is your go-to establishment? Whether that be
Okay.
for like food after practice or toward the end of the night, you want to go to a nice dinner. What has been your favorite so far?
so
I have the list of the partners up there too, if you need it.
yeah, no, I mean, for me personally, I go to Generations a lot to eat. Mike and them do a good job there, and there isn't anything I hadn't had there that I didn't like yet. So their pizzas go to for me. I just had their pork chops finally the other night. We're slamming. Well, slamming to me anyway, but Rachel's on 16th. I like eating breakfast there. They're not a partner of ours, but
Yeah.
maybe we can get them soon. But sometimes I like places for myself too. I don't have to, I don't even have to order really now because they know how many times we come there. That she knows what we like. So, see what else. Alpha is a good one. I've had some good food there. We just got on Rutten Bucks as one of our partners.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and they hadn't done stuff for a long time they used to do things with the nailers, but she said it's been a while. But the players are like, man, that place was slammed. That was on point. They
Yeah,
were
it's
all
good.
like that
It's
food
good.
there. But other than that, Tito's. Kristen that does a good job with Tito's. I like all that stuff. So far the food stuff has been pretty on point.
Have you had the DiCarlo's? Are you down with the cold cheese on pizza? Or
So I have not. I'm a pizza dude, right? So
Yeah.
and I know I'll make some people mad by saying I don't like the DiCarlo's pizza, but they're a great group and it's a good business. But I'm just not for the cold pizza cheese part because right, it's hot.
Yeah.
The crust is cooked, the sauce is hot, and then you
Yeah.
put the cheese on it really, and you get it to go because you put the cheese on it and put the lid on it, and then he said it melts a little bit, but I just can't.
Scott's wife's from Columbus, and she cried the first time she saw that cold cheese on
I took her. I'm up from like Steubenville area, so there was a place that I grew up. It's called Janimore's. It was the same thing at Square Pizza, and I took her in there, and I'm like, "How many slices do you want?" She was like, "Well, let's just get like a smaller." I'm like, "No, you order like per slice." She goes, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
I'm like, "What do you want?" She goes, "I don't know. What do I?" I said, "Get 3." And we sat down. She opened that box. She just looked at it, and my wife is not a crier. I mean, absolutely not whatsoever. She is, and I looked up and she just had these big doe eyes, and you could tell she was like, "Where am I moving to? Why is this so backwards?"
Right.
But now she loves it. But
Yeah, one of my coaches and I, we were walking down. We were like, we're going to go to this one pizza place. I've been wanting to try it out. I saw it there. Everyone talks about it. So let's go check it out. So as we're walking down, we're walking by the place and, the window's right there on the sidewalk. And I saw one of the pizzas there on the table. So like someone was eating, like getting ready to eat it or whatever. And I was like, I don't know about this place. So let's keep going. And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that pizza. I don't know why it looks like that. And then I found out that's why, because the cheese ain't cooked. As they put on.
It is to. I mean,
Well,
there's
that
a little
makes
bit.
sense.
There's a little bit that they cook in there, and then they just pile it on at the
And I
end.
said, well, that makes sense why it looked like that. I said, but I don't know about that one.
You gotta try Zontini's here in March Ferry.
Here, so I haven't been anywhere here in this area. So.
Yeah, Zontini's is in Martins Ferry. Same
Okay.
thing, square cold cheese, but they're good.
It's top notch.
Yeah.
And another place is right there by Generations. Generations is great, but a little place called Pickles.
So I heard of that place. Yep.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
a
went in
little-
there. Hopefully we can get them on as a partner. So we talked to them a little bit, but
Yeah, it's a good place
I've heard
right
the food's
downtown.
really good.
It is.
One of my O linemen, he said the wings are slamming there. When are we getting them as a partner?
Yeah, they are. They are really good.
He
So-
played for the Rough Riders, so that's why he knew about pickles.
All right.
Do you guys have anybody that you think in mind other than the Sackmaster that might be a brand name guys who want to come out?
The West Lib guys are pretty good. Charles Westbrook, he was a transfer in from, I can't remember where he transferred in from, but he played at West Liberty. He's a running back. Isaiah Robinson played receiver. The Wheeling U guys have been pretty solid for us. Aaron Finch played DB at Wheeling University, played for the Jacksonville Sharks. I actually coached against them in 2022. That was Ironman rules, so players played both ways. So I knew he was an athlete, and then he played a lot for us in camp and coming up to this first game as a receiver. That's how athletic he is, but he's a DB, so that's his focus.
So he's a receiver that can't catch. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's a DB that can make plays. So he's someone that he could start at safety and receiver for us, but he'll probably start on the defensive side just because of his experience. And then we'll work him in. It's a good change up to have a stud like that to come in off the bench at receiver. Andre Portis played at Marshall, defensive end for us. I actually coached him his rookie year in 2011, and then he's since won like 3 championships with a team called the Sioux Falls Storm in the Indoor Football League, the IFL, which is a story franchise has been around a long time. Their coach just retired. I think he was there like 20-some years or something like that. But it's just our offensive line as a whole is Real Evans. Played with the Rough Riders. Also won a championship with me in 2018 when we were with the Atlanta Havoc. So our O-line, D-line, our D-line's going to be tough. If our star group right now, I would say it would be our D-line. There ain't going to be many teams that we face that are going to be able to block them. So
good.
It could be a long day. I was joking with our DB and said we could put trash cans in the back end because they'll make plays. That's how good our D-line is. So now we got some guys in the back end that can fly around, and they're going to get a lot of touches on the ball for sure. Quarterback play is pretty solid. Grant Russell out of the Ohio area, Newark, Ohio area, I believe it is. Okay. But he played at Ohio Dominican, put a lot of numbers up. He actually played for Coach Bruni, who's at Wheeling University now.
Oh, okay.
He actually recruited him to ODU. So I joked with him and said he kind of recruited you to come here too because he mentioned you to me. And I said, well, yeah, I know Grant.
Yeah.
He was going to come play for me in 2020 with the Cobras, but then COVID happened. And
Right.
then, so that kind of went out the window. But so he's only an hour and a half from us, so that wasn't too bad to get him involved. Our other quarterback's a rookie, Andrew McBride. He could have been a true AFL quarterback. Like, he is legit solid. He's had a lot of medical stuff through the years that kind of kept him back. I think he finished at McMurray, McMurray College. So really the only school to give him a opportunity coming back from some of his medical stuff. Heck of a story. Heck of a dude too. That's really what won his opportunity to come here. Found him at a combine, the National Scouting Combine, which is in Indianapolis, which is a huge combine for athletes that weren't invited to the NFL Combine. Okay. So they're all draft eligible guys. And there was another quarterback there from Louisiana Monroe who is an NFL type quarterback and was the top quarterback on paper. But he was kind of he wasn't the best character guy, I guess you could say.
Gotcha.
So that's what kind of focused with Andrew. He was the best quarterback there in person. So that comes back to what we talked about, giving guys an opportunity, where they come from. Don't just look at the school they went to or what their experience is, because what are they doing right now? So this kid passes all, is 6'4", 205. He's not the thickest kid, but he's still 6'4", is good for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And makes all the throws, and he's athletic. And so you couple that with great character, that's someone you want representing your team.
Absolutely.
That's a huge thing. That's a carry him. He's going to be very successful in life, not just football. And that's what we look for in a lot of our players. So to be able to send them to a school and read to kids, you don't want to.
Right.
You don't want some guys that aren't going to be, likable or engaged, socially engaged like that with people. So people with great character, help make your team go a long way as well.
Yeah, you need hometown players for a hometown team.
For
I mean,
sure.
if they're going to be rubbing elbows with
Yeah.
everybody in it.
And even though from out of town, though,
Right.
they can become a hometown favorite, local fan favorite, and when you're doing those things out in the community, they're going to have that personal connection with you when they see you out there on the field.
That's it.
So that's what makes it fun.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Coach Rez. As
sure.
always. Good show. All right. Thanks for Jake back here. He's behind the scenes today, so he's just hear the voice of Jake.